Hi everybody, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, we have a bunch of drama that has been happening the last couple days on the Carnival Horizon about a missing passenger, the search for them, and we have a conclusion to that story. It's one you don't often hear. Also, we have a brand new cruise season is starting. That's right, the first cruise ship of the season has started in this location. We'll talk about that. We also have an expansion from a river cruise line that is going to double their fleet in the next 4 years. We also have one more story about, well, not really Bar Harbor, but when Bar Harbor set their limits on cruise ships and everything, where did the cruise ships go? So the cruise line and the police had reached out to people the last couple of days about a missing passenger. A 47-year-old woman went missing on the Carnival Horizon. Now, the first thing you think of when you think of missing passenger is overboard, right? Did they jump? Did they fall? What happened? But with video surveillance and tracking, they were able to determine that she just left the ship in Bonaire on an excursion. She was wearing a backpack, she had a water bottle, she was dressed in Caribbean clothes. She looked like every other passenger on her way out for a day in Bonaire. Well, she failed to return back to the ship. So the ship made numerous calls to her cell phone, her email, asked on the ship if anyone had seen her, if anyone was sailing with her. It appears that she was sailing alone. And so the worst was feared for her safety. So they contacted the police and authorities in Bonaire, and they put out local searches to the news media, to the radio stations, to the police force, to local stores, all in search of this woman. Well, it comes down to now it seems that she has now reached out to Carnival Cruise Line's care team and actually said that she left the ship on her own, she's safe, and she doesn't want to be located. In fact, when she left the ship, she left a tip on the bed for her stateroom attendant. Oh, good for her for doing that. But yeah, it appears that now she is trying to stay in Bonaire and get off voluntarily. That doesn't appear to be in any kind of danger. However, now she is now being searched because that is an illegal way to immigrate. But apparently, in Bonaire, you can arrive without a visa. When you arrive there, you can apply for a visa for up to a year, and that can be extended up to 5 years. So apparently the immigration there is much easier, especially that first year's immigration. And so this might be her plan altogether. Maybe she knows people there. But the good news is she's safe and sound and no harm came to her. But she certainly put a lot of people through a lot of worry. Next, let's talk about AMA Cruise Lines. AMA Cruise Lines, I just came off of the AMA Magna, my first river cruise ship in over a decade. Was a lot of changes since I've been on, but it was a beautiful ship, beautifully run company. The food was good, the ship was beautiful, had a good time. Well, apparently they are expanding their fleet. Now, since 2020, they have been on this build to upgrade and build new ships. So much so that by the year 2030, which is 4 years away now, folks, right, pretty much, they will have built another 8 ships, which will bring their total ships to 40, which will double their ships since 2020. They're even building a new double wide like the AMA Magna, which I was on. Where are they all going into Europe? No, they're actually sending ships all over the place. Some are going to Mekong, and some of them are going to the new river cruises in Colombia. So they're trying to find more river cruises, more rivers that they can sail on to spread out the fleet across globally. And so, yeah, a cruise line is doubling their fleet. Next, let's talk about the cruise season. It's just started up in Australia and New Zealand. That's right, the first cruise ship has arrived in Auckland. It's the Crown Princess. It is starting off the season. It begins now. Their season is different than the American and Canadian season. So there's a lot of skepticism a little bit about the industry right now with the high price of port fees and the different rings and stuff they have to go through to be able to sail into New Zealand, for instance, and get their hulls checked, etc. And all the port fees that are being doubled and taxes, etc. That they've lost about 40% of the cruise business. And they're hoping this year that they might be able to talk the cruise ships into coming back, bringing more and more people. But with the low Australian dollar right now, that might be a harder sale than just words. They need to do some other things to entice the cruise lines back, because they're all about profit, right? They're all about the profit margin. And if they're not getting a big profit margin in Australia, the costs are exorbitant for sailing there, the fuel, the food, etc., the taxes. They're just not going to send all their ships. They will find other markets that are much cheaper, like the very nearby Asian market to Australia. So let's hope that they can do something to make Australia's a great place. Love going to New Zealand. Loved cruising there. I would go back in a second. So fingers crossed for there. Next, let's talk about Bar Harbor. Bar Harbor has been in lawsuits and in court, and for years now we've been talking about this. Not just a couple stories, years about them banning the cruise ships. Well, a lot of people have wondered and asked me, well, where have the cruise ships gone? If they can't go to Bar Harbor, where are they going? Well, one cruise port that recently just had a ship, it's Eastport, Maine. And Virgin Cruise Lines, this brilliant lady came there. They had banners up welcoming them. They shut down City Hall at half day. They had all these vendors showed up around the dock, set up booths, were selling their goods. It seems like the whole town was there to welcome the cruise ship and to try and get some of that cruise money. And the passengers were loving it. They were loving buying some local food that was there. They were loving the souvenir shops that were all set up nearby. And the quaintness of the little town seems to be a very popular hit with local tourists. Remember, not everybody is from a smaller town. We're in the big bustling cities. We're in foreign countries, Europe, we're in Italy, Asia, Canada. Sometimes it's really nice to visit the down-home country feel of a small town. Eastport only holds about 1,500 people, so it's just a very nice size little town to visit. Right now the fall colors are starting. Absolutely a great stop for cruise lines, and they are welcoming more and more cruise ships to Eastport, Maine, as the cruise ships are now avoiding Bar Harbor. And so, yeah, they're spreading out more down the coast and finding new ports of call, and that's good news for the economy for a lot of the local towns. And they're looking forward to more and more cruise ships in Eastport as we speak. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think you would like to visit a small town like Eastport, Maine, along the Canada coast? I know I'm doing a Canadian ocean group cruise next year on the MAJESTIC Princess in the fall. I don't think we're stopping there, but I'm looking forward to some of the smaller towns along the way and seeing all the fall colors and just visiting our countries again along the East Coast. Had a great time last time, and I don't think this will be any different. Do you think Eastport's a good stop compared to Bar Harbor? Let me know in the comments down below, and until next time, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.